Please like, subscribe, and be sure to click that bell button for regular and exciting indie film content and your chance to be the first to engage with the Liftoff Global Network of Film Festivals as we embark on launching the careers of the filmmakers of tomorrow.
Hello everyone and welcome to today's stream. Today we're looking at the first roundup for the Manchester Liftoff Film Festival. If you're joining us live and have any questions, please put them in the chat room and I will do my best to answer them as the stream goes along. I can already see that there are a few questions in there and a few hellos, so I will answer that question as we get to it. But the Manchester Liftoff Film Festival has been running from the 13th of March and will end on the 10th of April in the audience round. From there, the films that make it through, so these are a handful of films from our jury, and also the audience top voted films will move into the network round. This will be live on the network hub for 1 week, and then from there we will pick the winners. So there's lots that have been going on over the festival month. We've had focus group invites go out. We had the focus group for our screenwriters last week, and this Wednesday, those that have applied for the filmmakers focus group will be taking place this Wednesday, and invites have been sent for that. This Saturday, the 1st of April, we are hosting the live networking event. Invites for that go out later today, and thank you to everyone who has applied. This is a first come, first serve service, and we really look forward to meeting everyone that can make it on Saturday. So one of the questions that has popped up in the chat is, please explain the voting process. Absolutely. So at the moment, we are in the audience round for the Manchester Liftoff Film Festival. In your email, once you have purchased a ticket, there is a voting link. You'll need to click on that link and use the code underneath the voting link to access the voting form. I'm going to show you a video now that explains all of this in depth, but just something to highlight is that you have to vote for your 2 favourite films or your 2 top films in order for the votes to count. You can't simply vote for one, it has to be 2. We have a new system in place that detects votes if they've been duplicated, or if a vote hasn't gone through, you'll be notified once the votes have been placed. Here's the voting trailer. Our online festivals are designed to bring much needed new eyes to true indie film. They are a tried and tested method of providing a platform of diverse work to a large audience. The voting process is specifically created to engage people with the collection. Once you purchase the program, to watch the films you'll be sent a ticket email which contains your personal link to sign up to the festival, along with your voting code and link. Before the festival closes, head to the email again to cast your vote. Entering the code in the email will give you access to the form, which will then ask you to select your 2 favourite films and provide some feedback on the projects. Throughout the festival, we'll be running events on our YouTube channel, such as live festival updates, free workshops, and promotional filmmaker interviews. Filmmakers will also receive daily updates from the festival. Thank you for participating in the Liftoff Film Festival and support. So there we have it. That is the best way to place your votes. If you have any issues, please email support@liftoff.network and they'll do everything to help you place the votes that you desire. Okay, so we've talked about votes, we've talked about the festival structure, so now let's talk about prizes. So there are 3 prizes up for grabs. We have the Audience Choice Award, which is where 4 filmmakers will be invited to join us on our YouTube channel. This is where we screen the film muted in the background and we dive into the projects with the directors, talking about what worked, what they absolutely had to overcome during the shoot, and why they wanted to make this film. These are really, really fun streams, and I highly recommend giving them a watch. We already have a handful on our YouTube channel if this sounds like something you are interested in. Then we have short list season award nominations, and this can be awarded to a handful of films, several films in fact, films that we think the jury and the audience think should be awarded a season award nomination. They will then get shortlisted for that. And then we have our overall category winners. So we have Best Short Film, Best Feature Film, Best Short Documentary, and Best Short and Best Feature Documentary as well. There we go. So I think it's time that we start looking at the programs and looking at some statistics. So we are going to start with the local filmmakers. Now this is a program of local films from Manchester and their surrounding areas. So let's look at some statistics. So the program itself has had 684 views so far, which is amazing. We've got 31 votes in and an audience around 80. This is the first roundup, so week 2 of the festival, so this is only going to grow as the weeks move forward. So the first film that I have to mention is Three Women, and this is currently on 8 votes. This is directed by Tasmin Stoke from the UK, from the Manchester area, and this is a short student project which follows 3 women. Well done for being in pole position as we speak. Up next, we have A Brief Guide to Self-Destruction, which is on 5 votes. This is by Marta Simon from the UK, from Manchester as well, and this is a thriller dark comedy. A recently separated father achieves enlightenment through extreme violence. The film draws on themes of men's mental health, self-help, depression, addiction, and isolation. So there we have it. Also tied on 5 votes, we have Talking Head, and this is directed by Paul Blake from the UK as well. After stumbling onto a film interview set, Tony is forced to pretend he's an actor, trying not to get caught by the interviewer. This is a fun little short film which I highly recommend giving a watch. Moving on next then, we're looking at the Trendsetters short page. So this has had 408 views so far. 40 votes have come in, and we have an audience of around 80 on this page as well. So the first film we're going to mention is a UK film, and it is called Godsend. It is directed by Connor Kensey, and this is a sci-fi horror thriller short film. So it follows a lonely survivor. So radiated dust has consumed humanity. A lone survivor must confront death in order to find salvation. So if you like your sci-fi thrillers, then this is definitely a film for you. Up next, we had The Deportation of a Model Citizen. This is on 6 votes, and it is directed by Jacob Thomas Pilgaard from Denmark. If you've been watching any of the streams, especially the first look stream that Caroline and Lloyd did on Friday, this film was mentioned, and I highly recommend giving it a watch. The audience are voting for it, and the jury have also highlighted it, so I would recommend giving this one a watch. So 2 police officers are to pick up Ada, a young, well-integrated student, from her foster mum and escort her to the airport where she has been deported back to Syria. A touching and hard-hitting drama created with inspirational stories, true stories about Syrian refugees. And this also was an Oscar qualifying short film for 2023. So watch this film whilst you can and whilst it's on our VOD for the Trendsetters page. Okay, moving on then, we are looking at features, and there's been a bit of a slow start to the features program. We have had 107 playthroughs so far. We've only had 4 votes in, and our audience is around 20. So the first film I'm going to mention is Once Upon a Time in the Canaries, which is currently on 2 votes. This is by a Spanish filmmaker, Armando Revlo. So the story follows Nola, a young Senegalese origin, arrives in the Canary Islands in a canoe, then begins an epic journey through the most defying corners of the Canary Islands in search of her father, who she never knew. There are several films I'd like to mention that are also in the features program that are all on 1 vote. So there are 6 films that are tied on 1 vote. We have All Crazy Random, Brexit Boys, JK 1971, Jupiter Lane, Nafik Yearning, 'Tis the Season, a Hawaiian Christmas Story. So really well done if you have been mentioned here on today's stream. We'll be back next Monday with the next roundup of the audience round. And as I mentioned earlier, the lift of jury are going through every film in each program, and they will also be moving their favourite films into the network round. So we have a handful of audience films going into the network round as well as jury. Enjoy the rest of your week. If you're taking part in the focus group, we look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. And if you are coming to the live event in Manchester on Saturday, we are very excited to see you there. Have a lovely week. Thank you. Bye-bye.